Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a good old-fashioned makeup tutorial. I literally have not done a video like this in years, I don't think. It's been so long since I've sat down and done an old-fashioned sit-down makeup tutorial like 2015 style. I have like my whole setup that I used to do. We're in the glam room. I have all my makeup laid out on my table. It's giving beauty guru and I'm kind of excited. I'm feeling inspired. You guys have been requesting for me to do an updated makeup tutorial, like a full tutorial video here on YouTube for a long time. And I don't know, I just kind of felt inspired today to actually do it. It's really random, I know, but I kind of just wanted to try it, throw it out there, see how you guys respond to it, and maybe I'll start doing beauty tutorials again. I don't know. Is 2023 giving beauty guru? The return of the beauty guru? So we're just gonna dive right in. This is obviously not, well, I don't know if it's obvious. Ooh, see, I don't know if y'all can see that. I got hairspray on my face. I need to wipe that off before I get started. I was gonna say, I don't know if it's obvious, but this is not sponsored. This is not for any other reason other than the fact that y'all asked me to do it. And for some reason, I just genuinely felt like doing this today. So I'm gonna be using a whole mix of products, drugstore mixed with high-end products, new mixed with old favorites. This is just gonna be a hodgepodge. This is just gonna be genuinely how I've been doing my makeup lately. This is gonna be a full glam look. Let me just preface this by saying, I guess I should explain. I forgot how to do makeup tutorials, but I guess I should explain what look we're doing. This is going to be a full glam, full coverage beat, but it is going to lean more on the natural, neutral side. So we're not doing any crazy eyeshadow or anything like that. All natural colors, but it is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a full beat, okay? So this is like what I do when I'm going out, when I'm about to shoot some content, when I really wanna just, you know, give. When the look needs to give, this is kind of like my recent go-to look. Of course, first thing is to start off with a very clean face. I just, tried to reattach my wig, so I had some hairspray on my face, but make sure all that is clean. I just washed and exfoliated my face before that though. You guys also ask about my skin a lot because if you're an OG, you know that I used to suffer with really severe cystic acne. And obviously I don't have like the severe cystic acne anymore. I did go on Accutane. I have a lot of videos about it if you need to get caught up. But you know, I still have acne prone skin. I still don't have perfect skin. I'm just not somebody who will ever have perfect skin, I don't think. I get dark marks and hyperpigmentation and I have melasma around my mouth, but for the most part, I don't break out with those really bad breakouts anymore. But you know, I don't have perfect skin, so I do like to do a full coverage beat. But it all starts with the skincare. So first thing I'm gonna do is moisturize. I actually really like, oh my God, look, the old fashioned put your hand behind the product to show the product. It's so nostalgic. But I actually really like this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream Moisturizer. It's expensive. This is a high-end product. It was gifted to me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would not have normally just gone out and bought this. But since it was gifted to me, of course I tried it. And I do kind of see the hype. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really, really special moisturizer. There's probably dupes out there. I don't know what the dupes are, but if you're willing to splurge, I do recommend this Charlotte Tilbury moisturizer. And I will have all the products linked for you guys. I'll probably do the QR code that I've been doing, and I will also have just the regular links that you can click on down in the description box. Then I also like to go in with a priming spray. It just makes my skin feel extra hydrated and extra prepped for makeup. This is the Urban Decay Quick Fix Hydra Charge Complexion Prep Priming Spray. It has niacinamide coconut water. It's just a hydrating spray, basically. And it smells good and it feels refreshing and it just feels like I'm getting my face ready for makeup. There's a whole bunch of different like brands and types of hydrating sprays that you can get. Doesn't necessarily have to be that one. Do I want to start with lashes? I think I want to start with lashes because I'm actually going to go in and basically do DIY like individuals or whatever you call it, like the falscara. If you don't know about falscara, where have you been? It's all the rage this season. If you're a lash extension girly, but you want to be able to do it for cheaper at home, this is the falscara product. It's basically a glue that you brush onto your lashes, and then you stick on these little individual lashes underneath, and then you seal it with the other product on the other side. Now, this does come as a full set with its own lashes that go with it, but I recently ordered these lashes off of Amazon from this random Amazon brand, and I really like these. I tried them for the first time the other day, and it's just a really cute style. It's a set that comes in a bunch of different lengths, so I did kind of a short to long look. So I'm gonna do that again. Last time I did my full face of makeup, and then I went in and applied these lashes last, but I felt like, you know, my lashes were dirty from doing my makeup, so I feel like it's probably better to do it on clean lashes first before I start my makeup. I don't know, we'll see how this turns out. But basically, you take the falscara bond product and you brush it onto your lashes. So it's kind of like a mascara if you've never used it, but it's like a glue that you brush on like mascara. You really don't need to put too much because you don't want it to start getting all gunked up, but just make sure you're coating every lash, and make sure you really get it on the roots of the lash mainly too, and those little tiny inner corner lashes, you want to make sure you really coat those ones really good. So once you get that on like that, then you could go in and start putting on your clusters from underneath. So like I said, I did kind of a cat eye look, I guess, where I did longer lengths on the outer corner going into shorter lengths. So I started with the longest ones in this pack, which is the 16s. You grab it with these little tweezers. These are like the Kiss tweezers that come with like their lash sets. You can also get them on Amazon. Grab it from the bottom of the lash so that you don't rip the lash apart. And then you gotta get it situated in your tweezers the right way. Kind of look up and go in from underneath and stick them on underneath your lash line. So you go from underneath and stick them on. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this technique before by now. It's, you know, all over TikTok. But the main thing is you don't have to use the Kiss Falscara lashes that come with the kit. You can use whatever lashes like off of Amazon, and there's a bunch of different styles. So I just really like this particular style that I found on Amazon. So I just did 2 16s. Now I'm gonna move to a shorter one, the 14, which is the next shortest length. Put the 14 right next to it, avoiding your waterline and just putting it on your lashes. You don't want it touching like your skin or anything. So far we got 16, 16, 14, and then I'm about to put on a 12. And then lastly, I'm gonna put on a 10, and that'll be the last one for my inner corner, this little shorter one. So there's one eye done. I got a little bit of glue right here, so I tried to wipe it off, but so here's the difference. And then when you look down, you don't see anything because they're underneath. And then I like to go in with this other style of tweezers that's like a more rounded, like lash line shape. Make sure they're not sticky or anything. And then I use these to go in and squeeze it together, like squeeze everything so I know it's really on there carefully, because it is still sticky, so you kind of have to finesse how you're squeezing it so you're not just like ripping them off. It's like stays sticky is like the only thing. It doesn't really dry down by itself all the way. So that's why you have the seal side. This other product on the other side is like a clear product that you're supposed to put on afterwards so that it doesn't stay sticky. But this part can be kind of tricky because then it can kind of get kind of gunked up with the sealant and you can kind of see it. So I try to just use this sparingly. So that's the lash. And with this bond, people say it can last for like a week. Some people are like, I wear them for 2 weeks. I wear them for 17 days, whatever. For me, really and truly with just this product, sticking it on, maybe 4 days. Maybe 4 days, realistically, I could keep these lashes on. It's hard to keep them on when you're washing your face and wearing makeup and taking off makeup and doing all these things. Like, it's not that secure. It's definitely more secure than your regular normal everyday lash glue or whatever, but it's not that secure in my opinion. Okay, so I just went ahead and did my other eye off camera. So now I have my lashes on. Again, I didn't do it this way last time, so hopefully I don't gunk up my lashes too much through doing the rest of my makeup, but we shall see. So let's see, the next step is gonna be color correcting. So don't underestimate the power of color correcting. That's all I gotta say. I definitely have dark circles. I have darkness around my mouth. I have dark spots on my face. Yes, you can use a full coverage foundation, concealer, and try to cover it up, but it's really more about the color and just the color theory of it all. And so I feel like color correcting does really help. So I am gonna go in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal color correctors. I have this lighter one, which is in the shade Peach Corrector, and this darker one, which is Orange Corrector. Really, this one is more of my proper shade, but sometimes I feel like I need a little hint more of the oranginess, so I mix in a little dot of this. But I just go straight in, definitely on my dark circles, just right directly on that darkness. Anywhere that I see that kind of purplish, bluish, gray tone on my face, I'm gonna go in with this color corrector, including any acne marks, dark spots across my face as well. Sometimes I just do this one on its own, but I'm gonna mix in a little bit of this darker one just to make it a little more orange, like red orange. The red orange cancels out the blue purple. So that's kind of the science behind it. So you wanna make sure it's actually like orange, like red. And it's gonna look crazy at first, but when you're about to use full coverage products on top of it, it's not gonna matter. This is just like canceling out the darkness. So I'm just gonna go in with this Real Techniques, this is actually a contour brush, I suppose, but just some sort of like fluffy, small, fluffy face brush to lightly tap this in. Of course, I don't want to completely blend it away because the whole point is for it to cancel out the darkness. So I kind of want it to just be like a layer sitting on top, but a very thin layer because we're trying to avoid being cakey as much as possible. You may also notice that I did not go in with an actual primer, like any sort of like squeeze out cream type primer. I just did the primer spray on top of my moisturizer. And that's because like I don't really care too much for primers. Sometimes I use them, honestly, just because I don't normally see like a huge difference when I use them. I just like to make sure my face is hydrated and moisturized. As far as priming, that's like the biggest thing to me. You do not want to be going in with all this makeup on a crusty face. That's like the main thing. If your face is dry and flaky and crusty, your makeup is gonna look horrible sitting on top of that. So the more hydrated, the better. You can always powder it down and use a mattifying setting spray to make it look more matte at the end. But when you're going in with your makeup, you kind of want it to be a little bit greasy, you know? You want it to be a little moisturized so everything sits nicely, blends nicely. You don't want it to be dry at all. Okay, so now my face is looking very like peach tone. Obviously, it looks crazy. This is a more extreme version because I'm doing a super full coverage, super full glam look. If I was doing a more natural look with a more natural foundation, I wouldn't want this part to look as extreme. I would want this part to blend into my skin tone more. So I would just go in with this lighter one and use less of it, make it like a really sheer, like blended in layer. But since I'm doing like a full glam look, it's okay if I go a little bit ham. So now I'm ready to go in with my foundation. Lately, I've been really liking the House Labs foundation. This is Lady Gaga's makeup line. This is the Triclone Skin Tech foundation. I have it in 2 shades here, shade 260, which is light medium cool, and shade 270, which is light medium neutral. I feel like I'm kind of, these are like the 2 shades that are right next to each other, but I feel like I'm almost like in between them. So I tend to kind of mix them. And it also depends on if I have self tanner on or not. I don't really have any self tanner on right now. So I'm a little bit lighter, but sometimes I'm a little bit darker. So I always just have to have like multiple shades of any foundation that I'm using. So I'm going to end up using like a mix of these 2, but I really like this foundation. I do also have the new Makeup by Mario foundation that everyone's been raving about. And I did try it and I do like it, I think, but I think I just don't like the shade that I got. I don't know. I need to, you know, test it more and maybe figure out my exact shade. like, it's okay, but like, I don't know. I like this one better for right now. So I'm just going to go in with the House Labs foundation. Again, I will link everything for you guys so you can check it out. I'm mainly going to use shade 270 and mix in a little bit of the lighter shade, I think. 3 pumps on the back of my hand, 1 pump, maybe 2 pumps of this lighter one, 1.5 pumps. This is definitely, like, I would say a full coverage foundation, but it's not super heavy. I just really like it. It has a nice finish to it. And I do also really like the brush that goes with it. This is the House Labs foundation brush, and that is what I apply it with. I'm not much of a beauty blender girl these days at all. Haven't been for a long time. I pretty much use brushes for everything. So I'm gonna start by tapping the product across my whole face just to kind of get an even distribution of it first. Just placing it on. You'll notice that I did not do my eyebrows yet because I don't do my eyebrows first. I do my eyebrows later on purpose. That's just my preference. Also, make sure you're applying down your neck, because I don't care how good your foundation match is, it's not gonna look right if you don't blend it down your neck. So now that I've got it kind of just placed across my face, I am going to start tapping it in to really blend it in. And I'm doing tapping motions. I'm not swiping across my face like a paintbrush. I'm just really tapping it in, because I don't wanna like mix the foundation into the color corrector that's underneath it and just start I don't know. It just needs to be tapped on. I don't know how to explain it, but tap it on. Don't swipe it on. That's my biggest piece of advice when it comes to foundation. Make sure you get all the little crevices, kind of go up into your ear a little bit so it's fully like seamless and blended. It's kind of hard when you have a lace wig on because you don't want to get too much makeup in your lace, but it also needs to be like blended as nice as possible right there. So I try to just get right up close to it as much as I can. And I try to go around my eyebrows without leaving a halo. Like, I want the foundation to go right up to the hair without getting too much foundation in the hair, but it can be wiped off after anyway, so it's okay if I get a little bit of foundation in my eyebrows, but I try to avoid it if I can. But I'm not gonna be carving out my eyebrows with concealer or anything like that, so I need the foundation to really be, you know, right up to the eyebrow. I am taking it across my eyelid a little bit just to make sure everything is blended. I'm trying to create like a smooth blank slate, like foundation, an even layer of foundation across my whole entire face. Eyes, forehead, everything. I know a lot of people don't put makeup on their forehead. Couldn't be me. This is a lot of real estate. She needs to be included. And then blending down my neck. Now, when I get to my neck, then I can drag, because there's nothing down here preventing me from being able to drag. You know what I mean? And now I'm just kind of like dragging the little residual product, whatever's left on the back of my hand, dragging that down to kind of just blend it down a little bit. I'll drag it all down my chest. If I know my chest is gonna be showing, include that a little bit too. Honestly, I'm gonna take my earrings off because I end up getting a lot of makeup on my earrings when I do this. And then I'll look and I'll see, like, do I need more? You know, does this look like a really even layer? Is anything peeking through? Anything looking patchy? Do I maybe need a little bit more? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more of the lighter foundation, the lighter shade. Just a little bit, just to make sure I'm really getting that full coverage. So there's the foundation. Next, I'm gonna go in with my cream contour. So I have been using this Juvia's Place. This is actually a concealer. This is in the shade 9. And honestly, these days I just go straight in because I know this product is very blendable. I know I can go straight in with it on my face, but a lot of products like this are not as blendable. So it's better to put it on the back of your hand, dip your brush, kind of get a nice little blended dip, and then start putting it on your face so you can get a really nice blended, diffused look instead of drawing lines on your face like I'm about to do. Sometimes when you do this, you can never blend away that line. It doesn't blend out very good and you end up with this like weird patchy line on your face. I know this product is blendable, so I know that I can do this without having a problem. But if you're not sure, put it on the back of your hand, dip your brush, tap the brush on your face. That's gonna be a foolproof way to make sure it blends out good every time if you're not sure if you can trust your product or not. This product, I know I can trust it, so I can do this, but I don't normally recommend this. Then I'm gonna go in with this brush, which is an old Morphe brush. This is the Y8. I don't know if they still make this. It's a fluffy brush, but it's kind of like flat. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a good shape for like this motion. And hurry up and start blending this out, because again, you don't want to have that problem of having a line stamped on your face that you can't blend out. So I'm going to hurry up and blend this out. And do you notice where I applied it? Notice that I applied it up here, not down here. Not down here, like in line with where like my mouth and my ear is, which is what I feel like we were originally taught to do a few years ago. I apply it almost where you would normally put like highlighter, like up here above my ears, because I want to create the effect of having a lifted, you know, lifted face, high cheekbones, chiseled face. You want everything to be lifted, not dragged down. So I'm actually putting everything higher up than you would normally put it. And then I have a big forehead, so I'm just contouring that, darkening it so that it's not so just egghead. I want it to look darker and bronzed and contoured. And again, it's kind of hard to blend this when I have a wig on, because you can see that kind of line of demarcation. But you know what? It's a wig. Y'all know it's a wig. Okay. Everybody already knows that. It's fine. We will get over it. And then you see what I did on my nose. Not too much, because it's gonna blend out quite a bit. So we don't need to be drawing the full, like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes less is more on the nose. I do like to connect the nose contour to the eyebrow, because you're following the real shape of your face. So I'm trying to emphasize the way my nose kind of sticks out of my face, and it starts at the eyebrow. And it looks messy at first because I'm actually going to clean it up with the concealer after. Mainly I'm kind of just darkening my whole entire nose right now, and then I'll go in and like snatch it up with the concealer after this. I honestly don't really do too much on the jawline. I mean, I might just take whatever's left on the brush and kind of lightly go across the jawline, but that's not really my thing. Now we're gonna go in with concealer. I like the Fenty Beauty concealer, tried and true favorite. I'm using the shade 230, and this is definitely a brightening shade for me. But with all this dark stuff that I just applied, I wanna, you know, complement it with a bright shade to really carve everything out. So, oh no, I almost forgot. A new thing that I just tried is actually going in with my blush before the concealer. So I'm gonna do that. So I have this liquid blush by NARS. This is in the shade Orgasm, which is like a very like baby pink with kind of golden shimmers in it shade. And I really have been loving the super baby pink, you know, the Dior blush trend, the Juvia's Place blush, which I am gonna be using today. This super like light Barbie pink color, and then like applying a lot of it high up on your face. I really like that look, so that's what we're gonna be doing. And it starts with the base layer of some sort of liquid or cream blush. So I'm gonna be using this NARS liquid, and I think I'm actually going to amp it up by adding in a little bit of this NYX cream blush. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint in the shade Baby Doll. So this is like more of a hot pink color, if y'all can see that. So I'm gonna mix these two together to get me like a really Barbie pink look. On the back of my hand, maybe like 3 pumps of the NARS liquid, and then mixing in some of this like darker hot pink by NYX. And I'm going in with a fluffy round brush like this. This is just like a random IT Cosmetics brush. And I'm gonna go in and mix those 2 products together and get my brush evenly coated. This is what I was talking about with the contour. This is what I would normally recommend doing with your contour shade as well, but whatever. So now I'm going to put this really high up on my cheeks, like as high up under my eye as I can put it. Basically covering my whole entire, like starting from right under my eye going up to my temple, basically. Now, this look is not for everyone. This is like a very blushy, blush focused look, and it's definitely like trendy right now, but I just really like it. So if you don't like all this blush, you don't have to do it like this. You could just do like the normal little on the apples of your cheeks, but this is what I've been doing lately. So I'm literally applying it like under my eye. You see that? Then I do a little bit on the top of my nose and a little bit, tiny bit on my forehead, tiny bit on my chin, just to like, you know, add some cohesion across the face. And now I'm gonna go in with my concealer on top of this and kind of almost like mix my concealer, my under eye concealer, into the blush. So again, this is the Fenty Beauty in shade 230. It's a really brightening, bright color, as you can see on me. And I'm going to strategically place it going up to the side of my nose, of course on my under eye, and then lift to the side. But you see how I did it like right here next to my nose? That's gonna help snatch the nose. Under eye and then lift a little bit for the bridge of my nose to kind of finish off the nose contour. And that's really all I do with concealer. I don't do like, you know how people do it like here, like all the highlighted spots. I just do this these days. And I like to let it set for a second. Shout out Jackie Ina. I think she was one of the people who, you know, brought that to our attention, to kind of let your concealer sit for a second so that you get the most like coverage out of it. So kind of let it dry down. In the meantime, I'm actually going to wipe off my lips and start my lip prep. I like to go in with a lip plumper as like my prep before I do my lipstick later. And I have the, what is it? The Too Faced, you know, that I think it's Too Faced, right? That lip plumper that everyone normally uses. I have that one. It definitely works. But I saw a TikTok where this girl was talking about this one from Amazon. And she was like, it's way better than the Too Faced one. It's way better than any lip plumper you can get off of Sephora. This was $9 on Amazon. And it's in this cute little pill bottle thing. So I haven't tried this yet, but I want to try it now for the first time. So let's see how good this lip plumper is. She said it was way more powerful than the one I normally use. Oh yeah, I can immediately feel the tingle. That's how you know it's working. So this will do two things. It'll moisturize my lips so that they're kind of like hydrated and ready for the lipstick later. But of course it's going to plump up my lips so that they look extra juicy when I do my lips later. Okay, so now I should be ready to blend out my concealer, and I'm actually gonna take this brush, which RIP is from the Collab makeup line. If you're an OG, you remember that I was a part of this brand. I helped create this brand with a group of other influencers, and it was sold in Sally Beauty. I think it is still currently sold in Sally Beauty. I'm not a part of it anymore. Long story short, I don't know if I can still get this brush, but I really like this brush. Like, you see the shape of it? It's a really unique shape that is just like perfect for under eye concealer, and just like the texture of it. So I go in and I start tapping the concealer out, not dragging it all over the place because I want it to stay in the spot that I applied it. But of course, I just want it to be blended out. So I'm going like down the side of my nose, under my eye, and up. And it's kind of like mixing into that blush right there. And it gives like a really cute baby doll effect. But again, if you want to tone this part down, use a concealer that's not as bright. Don't use as much blush. Don't drag your concealer up so high. There are ways that you can like tone it down, of course. And then I'm all about blending. So I keep the other brushes that I used handy so I can go back and kind of touch up the contour a little bit. Go back with the contour and then go back with the blush, especially the blush, because we're really trying to like blend the concealer into the blush. So I kind of like switch back and forth between all the brushes to make sure everything is kind of like an ombre from the concealer to the blush to the contour. like Neapolitan ice cream, vanilla strawberry chocolate. I'm trying to avoid my lashes as much as possible. And then I'm gonna blend this out. Again, trying to just keep it right where I put it. Blend, blend, blend. When you think it's blended, it's not. Blend it again. Okay, now we're gonna do our first spray of setting spray. This is the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by ELF. I like to use a lot of setting spray in between steps. So now that I have all of my creams on, and honestly, I should have sprayed my face after I put the color corrector on, because that was really the first layer. Color corrector, that's your first layer, spray. Then you put your foundation and everything on, spray again. Then I'm gonna end up going in with powders and spray again. So I basically spray in between every like layer or every step pretty much, because you can never have too much setting spray. It just melts everything together. It makes your makeup last longer. It makes it like more skin-like. I just love setting spray. So I use a lot of setting spray in between steps. And I always keep a little fan from the Dollar Tree on hand so I can dry down my setting spray. I know they have those little battery operated ones, but who wants to worry about like recharging a fan? Just do it the old fashioned way. Make sure there's no creases under your eye or anything. Now I get creases under my eye no matter what, because I have creases under my eye. You know what I mean? Like the makeup is not gonna make the creases that I have disappear. So I have creases without makeup. I have creases with the makeup. It just is what it is. So I don't really pay too much attention to that. So don't ask me about how to prevent your under eye concealer from creasing, because I don't know. But I'm gonna go in with the One Size powder. This is Patrick Starr's makeup line. This is just in the translucent shade. And I'm gonna go in with, and I admittedly do not have a fresh clean one right now. They're all dirty, but these little triangle powder puffs from Amazon, they have like almost like a velvety texture to it. Game changer for powdering. I don't know what it is, but it does make a difference when you use this specific type of powder puff to set your face. I like to do a nice coat, but then tap it off like this, so it's not too much. And then notice how I'm placing it up against my nose for that straight line here, and then under the eye. And I'm pressing the powder in. Again, I'm tapping, I'm not dragging. And I'm not even really baking. I mean, there's a little bit of excess powder, but for the most part, it's all getting like fully tapped in. That's why I like to not get too much on the puff to begin with. So I'm not really trying to bake. I just want it to be set down. So I mainly go in on the sides of my nose and set my under eye. That's like the main thing. But then I will also go ahead and do like around my mouth, and then do like this. You see how it like fits perfectly between the brows? Press that in, go down the nose like that. And it's all pressing, press. So I kind of set like the main center areas of my face with that, but then I'll go in with a fluffy brush and a different like foundation powder that has more of a color to it to kind of do like the perimeter and everything else. So I do also like the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation powder. This is in the shade medium 5. So I use this a lot, but sometimes I feel like this may not be the exact shade that I need or something. The other day I went back to using the Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless powder, which is like a tried and true drugstore favorite. This is in the shade 310 Sun Beige. And I don't know, I liked this. So I'm gonna go in with this one, but some sort of like foundation powder like this and a big soft fluffy brush. And then I'll kind of go in like more on the sides of my face to set everything else. This is kind of to prevent my whole entire face from looking too ashy, because sometimes the translucent powder can kind of give you like an ashy effect if you use too much of it over your whole face. So I like to go in with something that has like a little bit of color to it, so it doesn't end up looking like too powdery and ashy. I need to set down my eyelids as well. Doesn't really matter. I can either use this powder or the translucent powder, whichever one. Just some type of little bit of powder. So there are the powders on, and you guessed it, setting spray again. And I feel like that kind of like locks in each layer before you go on top of it with another thing. Next thing I'm gonna go in with is powder bronzers or like powder contour. I like the Fenty Beauty bronzers. This is the Sunstalker bronzer in Caramel Cutie. I also like NARS bronzers. This is the Paradise Found bronzing powder. This particular NARS product is more of a sheer product, so I kind of like to go in with a big fluffy brush and just kind of like generally bronze up my face a little bit, not being precise with it at all. This is also good for like trying to bring a little extra color to my chest or whatever. But then I go in with the Fenty Beauty bronzer, which is darker and more pigmented. And this is where I actually kind of like carve out my cheeks. So I like to use this brush, which is like fluffy, but kind of flat at the bottom. So it kind of gives you like that straight line, but like blended at the top. This is a Japanesque brush, Japanesque number 722, and kind of try to keep that sharp line underneath, but keep it blended on top, if that makes sense. And keep it more to the back of my face. I'm not bringing it too far in. I'm keeping it more like towards my ear and towards my hairline. And again, not applying it too down low here, more up, so it gives that lifted, snatched, high cheekbone effect. I'm also going to apply some to my forehead and to my nose. I'm gonna go in with a smaller fluffy brush so I can get a little bit more precise with how I'm putting it on my nose. I even kind of just messed that up just now with that big brush. Not too much product. And again, I'm starting at the eyebrow and connecting it down. So it's the two lines that go from the eyebrow all the way down to the tip of the nose. And when you're doing this, if the idea is to kind of make your nose appear slimmer, then you bring the lines in closer together. You don't have to follow the actual size of your nose. You bring it in, you cheat it a little bit. You bring it in closer than where your nose really is to make it look smaller. If you're just putting it genuinely on the sides of your nose, you are just enhancing what your nose really looks like. If that's what you're trying to do, cool, nothing wrong with that. If you like the size of your nose, if you like the way your nose naturally looks, follow the actual size and shape of your nose with your contour. If you're trying to make it look skinnier, bring the lines closer together. I see a lot of people talking about, oh, I'm snatching my nose, but they're just putting the lines like right where their nose just already is anyway. And it's like, you're not snatching anything. You're just accentuating your natural nose shape. Which again, that's fine if that's the look you're going for. I do like to accentuate like the button nose effect at the tip. So I apply it underneath and a little bit on top right here. Then I'm kind of like blending it into my crease where you put eyeshadow. Like this darkness all kind of blends together here, if that makes sense. Again, switching back and forth between brushes to make sure everything is cohesive. And I'm gonna just take the same bronzer on a big fluffy eyeshadow blending brush and use that as my main eyeshadow. So I'm going straight in to my crease, kind of again connecting it to the nose contour. This really isn't like an eyeshadow look. It's more just to accentuate my eyes, add some definition to the eyes. And then I'm kind of like almost winging it out on the sides, like I'm dragging it out a little bit past my eyebrow and really like blending it up and out on the sides. Try to make it as blended and diffused as possible. From here, it kind of depends on how far I want to take it with the rest of my eyes. I really like this Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette, which is just a bunch of matte, neutral, and brown tones. And so I'll take like some of these lighter tones on the first row and put that on my lid. So it's like a darker crease and a lighter lid. But sometimes I'll go in with like these medium brown tones on the lid. So it's more of like an overall darker look. Sometimes I'll do like a little bit of eyeliner with the super dark colors and take a little angled brush and do like the eyeliner effect with the eyeshadow. It just depends on how far I'm feeling like taking it that day. Today, I don't feel like taking it too far at all. So all we're gonna do is go in with this shade here, this kind of like beige tone, and I'm just going to pack that on my lid. So it's kind of barely noticeable, but it's just to kind of finish off the eyes a little bit. Then I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade in here and put that on my inner corner to brighten. I always feel like the inner corner needs to be brightened. Again, with the switching back and forth between brushes, I'm going back to that crease brush and just kind of reblending the crease now that I've got everything else on. So it's all blended together. Then I'm gonna go in with this like smaller pencil brush, and I'm gonna take one of these kind of like medium brown tones and run that underneath for a little tiny bit of lower lash line definition. I used to do like the old school Nicki Minaj thing where I just did not put a single thing on my lower lash line. You know how Nicki Minaj used to do like the heavy eyeliner and lashes and everything on top and absolutely nothing on the bottom, no shadow, no mascara, no nothing on the bottom. And I used to really think that that look suited me the best, like suited my eye shape the best. So I would rarely like put anything on my lower lash line. These days, I do like a tiny bit of definition. I still don't really ever do lower mascara, but just enough to say, hey, the bottom of my eye is there, okay? We didn't forget about her. So that's really it for the eyes. Moving on to the eyebrows, which I saved for last on purpose. They did get makeup in them though, so I do need to clean them off. I just take a regular dry Q-tip and kind of rub them to get some of that excess product off of them. My eyebrows are microbladed. I get that question all the time. They are microbladed, which basically means that they are tattooed on. Microblading is where they tattoo on little hair strokes into your eyebrows to make them look fuller and just like more perfectly shaped and kind of give the effect that you have your eyebrows filled in all the time. So I've been getting that done for a few years now. You do have to get it touched up because it does fade over time. It fades faster than like a normal tattoo since it's on your face. And I have not gotten mine touched up in definitely over a year. I don't even remember the last time I got them touched up. So they're not fresh. They're a little faded right now, definitely. But it does still help like give me the general shape of my eyebrows, because without the microblading, my eyebrows are kind of like thin and sparse and just like they don't grow perfectly in this perfect arch that I would want them to grow in. When I have a full face of makeup on, I still need to fill in my eyebrows. Like, it doesn't compare to like actually filling in your eyebrows. It's more so for when I don't have makeup on. But when I do have makeup on, I'm doing a full face of makeup, including the brows. Like, it just is what it is. So I really like this NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. It's a super skinny little like pen, marker almost, and I use it in the shade Brunette, and I literally go in and draw on little individual hairs wherever I feel like I need it within my brow to just kind of darken my brow, make it look thicker, make it look fluffier, add some extra hairs here and there, bring them back to life after they got covered with foundation and everything. I try not to go too heavy with it because I don't want my eyebrows to look too, you know, heavy and blocky and like just too much for my face, especially when I have like lighter hair. This hair is actually kind of dark around the root, but like it is blonde. I don't want my eyebrows to like look crazy in comparison to my hair. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but now I'm gonna go in with my blush. I did the cream blush, but we gotta top it off with powder blush. So I'm using the Juvia's Place. I love this blush. This is their blush duo in volume 4. And I'm just gonna go in with the bottom shade with a fluffy blush brush, and I'm gonna apply it in the same spot that we put the cream. So like really high up under my eye and doing like an upwards motion up my face. And I like a lot of super Barbie pink blush. A little bit down the bridge of my nose. Then I'm gonna go in and highlight my nose with this NARS Orgasm highlighter. It's like a champagne golden highlighter. There's so many highlighters that are similar to this in the world. This is just the one that I always use. And I use a little small brush like this down a straight line down the bridge of my nose, and I do my little dot at the tip of my nose, and I really feel like that just completes the nose. Like, it's not complete without the little shimmer exclamation point. And then why not add a little bit to the inner corner of my eye for a little extra pop. It really just like bink, you know, opens up the eye. And I like to put it on my brow bone. I don't really put it on my cheeks anymore. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll put a little bit. Maybe I'll do like a little bit today. Not nearly as much as I used to do. I used to do like, you know, you want the highlighter popping on your cheekbone. I just don't really do that anymore. It's more about the blush these days for me. And then I guess the last thing I can do is carve out my contour by going back in with this triangle powder puff and my translucent powder, and using the straight line of this puff to my advantage. I can go in and stamp out where I want to snatch my cheekbone right there. Ew, don't look at my lace. Kind of stamp that on and then brush the excess away. And then more setting spray. A lot more because this is the final set. Fan it down. Of course, the very, very last thing is the lips. I always go for some sort of nude lip pretty much. And that's the one thing that I tend to kind of like struggle with. I don't really have like a super like tried and true go-to lip combination. You'd think that I would by now, but I think it's because I try so many things, I forget what I tried or what I even use, and I'll do something, I'll be like, oh, this is cute, and then I look and I'm like, I don't even know what lip liner I just used because I have 6 lip liners on my table, and like, I don't know, I need to figure it out. But I try to go for kind of like a brownish, nudish lip liner, and then a your lips but better type color. So like my actual lip color, something close to my actual lip color for the lipstick and or gloss. So I'm gonna wipe off this excess lip plumper just so it's not too like greasy. I always have trouble finding the perfect lip liner. I'm gonna go in with this KKW Beauty Nude number 3. It's like a nude brown. I think I would really want to use nude number 2 because it's a little bit lighter. This one's like a little dark for what I'm going for today, but I can't find my other one. Yeah, this one's pretty dark. This is more of a nighttime lip, and I do overline a little bit. I do get lip filler. Similarly to my eyebrows though, you have to get it touched up, and I haven't had mine touched up in like over a year. But with help from the lip plumper and overlining, I like to get that pouty rounded effect. Then I'm gonna go in with this NARS Air Matte Lip Color in the shade Surrender. And then I also have that same thing, it's so beat up, but this is the same product in a different shade, and the name is completely wiped off, so I don't know. But it's a lighter shade, so I'm gonna put that in the center and blend that together. So this would be kind of like the soft matte lip, but then I could also go over it with some gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. Honestly, I don't think those two products like each other because they're starting to make like a weird texture on my lips already. Like I said, I'm not your girl. When it comes to lip combos, I'm not your girl. I struggle with lip combos every day. So that's not my strong point. But long story short, I try to go for some sort of nude lip like this is usually my go-to. A darker liner with a slightly lighter natural nude lip. So yeah, this is pretty much the finished look. My hair is not really fully done right now. Excuses, I know, but this is pretty much the finished look. My recent go-to glam full face, full coverage, but still kind of natural glam with the baby doll blush, the lash extensions with the struggle nude lip makeup look. So here it is, and those are all the products that I've been using recently, and those are the techniques I've been using recently. So that's mainly what I wanted to share with y'all in this video. Hopefully you gained something from this video, whether it was a product recommendation or a technique or something like that. Once again, I will have everything linked in the description box, and I will also put a QR code that you can scan with your phone. I think my top recommendations would be the foundation, these lashes off of Amazon that you can put on with the Falscara. This lip plumper I do think really works as well off of Amazon. And I really like this Juvia's Place blush if you're into this current blush trend. But yeah, that's everything. Let me know what you think of me doing makeup tutorials again. Is this something that you would really actually want to see on my channel? Like, more often? Let me know. Are y'all feeling it? Should I become a beauty guru again? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.